Hello. So this is going to be a fun video, very chill video, very free video, where we're going to play with some free public APIs. I found this site, freepublicapis.com. It's tested 229 free public APIs that are tested every single day. So we know they work, quote unquote, but maybe we don't know how to access them. So why you may want to watch this video is we're going to start from scratch. We're going to try to use URL fetch app. We are going to access APIs, get that data into Google Sheets, but we're also going to add a little bit of sort of interesting stuff to a Google Sheet, but we're going to do it for a number of different APIs. So you'll watch me access these APIs. You'll see how we access APIs, how we get data into Sheets. I'll try to go through a few different ways, like directly in a cell, just grabbing data from an API, but also trying to capture or scrape these APIs for multiple pieces of information. We'll try to do a few of those different things, but let's see how far we get. I thought some of these were pretty fun. So like we have an Harry Potter API. I think we're going to start there. We have a Kanye.Rest free REST API for random Kanye quotes. That might be fun. These could be used, obviously they're pretty random, they're pretty funny. We have a Rick and Morty one. Public Holiday might be really good. But we're going to discover these and look at their documentation and try to access them. We have a blank Google Sheet already right now. So let's see where we'll start. Are we going to start with Harry Potter or Kanye? The free random one might be simple, because it might be just like call it and then get it. So we have get a quote from me. It says api.kanye.rest. And is that it? Let's click. Okay, so we have literally just, we get a quote back. All right, so we just call this URL and get it. So let's do it. Let's go over to extensions AppScript. If you've never used AppScript before, it is free and available in every single Google Sheet you have. So just go to extensions AppScript. In AppScript, let's call this get Kanye quote. Get Kanye quote, or what is this? Yeah, Kanye quote. Okay. We're not going to put any variables in here. We are going to have to return something, so we'll return a quote. This quote is just the word quote here is just a variable that we're going to create variable quote equals, and then we're going to put some text here. If you want to try this out, I'm going to create a custom function. You don't have to do this, but I really love doing it. You just add custom function. I'm actually going to call this Kanye all caps and save it. Right now, what it will return is just text. So if we just type in here equals Kanye, see it comes up, Kanye. It's just going to return the word text, but we don't want text. We want whatever comes out of this URL. So let's call it variable URL equals, and put this in quotes, api.kanye.rest. And instead of quote, we will use URL fetch app.fetch. All we need is a URL and some options. But let's just grab the URL for now and see what happens. I think I know what's going to happen, but I just want to see it. Yeah, we get nothing, right? So what we need to do is actually get a response from there. Variable quote equals response dot get content text. I think we're going to need that. So we're just calling this URL api.kanye.rest. And whatever the response is from there, we're going to get it in this get content text. Let's see what we get now. We're going to save it. Go back. We get function native code. So what does that mean? Oh, actually, we don't. We got that, I think, from just the response. But we get content text means we go to that code that comes back and we just get the text out of it. But we have to do a little bit more, one more step, because we have this. I don't know if you can see it. Let's make this text a bit bigger. We have curly brackets, and we have the word quote, and then the quote. So what this is it's called JSON, JSON, and it's a structured data that APIs are going to give us back. But we want to what's called parse it. We want to work our way through the JSON tree. And what we'll do is instead of quote, we'll call it JSON, and variable quote is actually going to be JSON capitalized, which is a function inside of AppScript. Just like URL fetch app is a function that calls URLs and gets a response, JSON is, we're looking at the JSON. And there's only two things here we have options for. We can just parse it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to parse the JSON. And we can call this like text maybe, or JSON to make it a little less convoluted that we have JSON 2 times. So we're just using this variable text to say this response.get content text. Let's save that and see what happens. We get nothing. The reason is now we are parsing this. We need to actually tell it which part of the JSON to give us. So I think we just do .quote. I think. Let's see if that works. And it is. I was just speaking with someone that told me their life story, and they used to be homeless. So we have now a random Kanye quote from Kanye with the function Kanye, and we did that relatively in just a few minutes, right? Let's have fun with APIs. All right, that's the first one. We can use this in a number of ways. I would say you could use this if you had some sort of checklist, insert checkbox. And let's say we wanted to give a quote when you checked off 3 things. So we go equals if count if A2, A4 is true, is over or equal to 3. And now if that, right now it's false, so we want to do nothing. And then add another comma if the value is true, actually we'll do Kanye. And nothing if it's false. Actually, we'll put in false. So we'll say not done yet. And now if we have a checklist like item 1, item 2, item 3, and we said, okay, when these 3 things are checked off, we want a quote from Kanye. Now it's loading, and here we go, a quote from Kanye. Great, and this will call, so one weird thing about APIs and Google Sheets is I think it's going to call it like every 10 minutes. It's going to cache it, C-A-C-H-E, meaning like it'll save the data for a little bit, but it'll call it again in 10 minutes and come back. So that's why we like these like free APIs. In the next one, I think I will show you how to keep this information in a sheet without having to call the API again. So let's look at this Harry Potter API. Description API providing data on Harry Potter characters and spells includes routes for all characters, specific character by ID, students, staff, characters, and all spells. So here we have some more documentation. And in this case, we are going to need to read the documentation because it's not just like one call and get a response. So this is a little bit more interesting. Use these routes to request data on Harry Potter characters or spells. So let's look at all characters. Oh, that is literally all characters. So this might look like gobbledygook to you, but it looks like, to me, JSON. Let's click on pretty print here, and we can see this. We have curly brackets, we have square brackets. This is sort of structured data that lists every single character. Let's look at all spells. And as well, we have a list of an ID, the name, and a description. So maybe if we call the right name, can we get, or if we want to just download this data, how do we get that into a sheet? Is that really all the spells? Pervious, Levicorpus, Muffliato. Is that really all of them? What could we do with this? We also have all characters, Hogwarts students. Let's look at this. So we have ID, name, alternate names. Does everybody have an alternate name? Maybe we want to give the name and get back a alternate names. Or something else, or the house maybe. Let's see what we can do with this. So function, Potter, actually, Harry Potter. We're going to need to use the URL here, the endpoints, what's called endpoints. They have different endpoint for each one, so all Ravenclaws, all spells. Let's look at this again. If there's any more, no API key is required. Explore and enjoy the magic. So we're just gonna get everyone, right? Every spell. Let's just type in a spell and get back what it does. Okay. So we have all spells. Let's copy that and use that variable URL equals. Let's put in quotes. And get spells. And we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to get a response. We're going to parse that. How do we handle everything? So we're going to get back, not dot quote, but let's say return. Is in here a little bit. Let's just get back everything for now. Just the text. Return text. We don't even need quote here. Let's see what happens with this. And let's call this, instead of Harry Potter, Hogwarts spells. Or all caps spells. Again, we will add this at custom function because I think we're going to need to do something else here. And I think we can do something pretty fun here. So this is Kanye. Make a new sheet. Call it spells. Equals spells. Let's see what happens if we just type in everything. We got all of that. So we have that there, and we want to say variable. Because we can parse the JSON, right? But we need to get everything. Maybe we want to just print this all out into a sheet. Instead of using this as a custom function, that might be simpler or more interesting. I don't know. Say spells equals JSON.parse text. And I think we can then do spells. Let's see what happens there. I think we're just going to get an object or nothing. We need to parse this somehow. This is curly brackets first. So we sort of have to create our own API that's going to say, give us, if we put in a spell, it gives us back the description of that spell. So maybe instead of parsing this with JSON, we just print it to the to a sheet. Because this is an array, so I think so this is going to seem weird, but we're going to put a 0 here. Let's see what that does. Does it update? What was it? Dot spell name. See, it is now. Okay, so we can do something different here because it's not really well done. So we can get each of the spells if we iterate through all of them. I wonder if we can get return spells dot length. See if that changes to a number. So we need to just iterate through all of them. How do we iterate through all of them if we don't know the length? Should be able, there it is, 77. Okay, maybe it just didn't save. So there's 77. So spells.length gives us, this is the weird thing here, because it's an array, and it's just all of the spells. We can, instead of returning spells.length, let's actually run this as a get all spells. This will be fun. We're going to go to BetterSheets.co snippets and get a custom menu, and this is going to give us a cool little function menu at the top. We're going to call it API menu, and we're going to say get all Hogwarts spells. We're going to run the function get all spells. We're going to not return spells.length. We're going to do something else here. In the sheet that we have, we are going to append. So whatever active sheet we're on, we're going to say spreadsheet app.getActive sheet.append row. We are going to first append a row called, what are the three things? We have ID, name, and description. So ID, name, description. So let's switch all these to single. Okay, if I just run this, actually from here, no, I'm going to save this, make sure this orange button goes away. I'm going to refresh our sheet. And over here, we're going to have a menu pop up. It's going to say API menu, get all Hogwarts spells. So in a blank spell, I'm going to click get all Hogwarts spells. Oh, we need to authorize it. Okay, we'll authorize it. Allow. In the active sheet, it should append. There it is. ID, name, description. See, it already showed up here. So let's go back and see. We're going to write a little for loop and say for all of the entities here, so for I equals 0, we'll start at I is less than spells.length is how far we're going to go. And then we're going to iterate I++. So this is going to be a little iterator. We can say iterate. Iterator. If we want, we can use any variable we want here. Iterator. We are going to write, we're just going to append each row. And in the row, we are going to append spells, iterator, dot ID, and then comma spells iterator. So this iterator is usually just I. And it's going to start at 0, and it's going to keep going up and up and up until it's no longer less than the length, meaning 77 in our case. We want to dot, God, I keep forgetting which one. ID, name, and description. So this will be dot ID name. Now we will do spells dot description. Okay. Missing 20. Oh, yeah, we are missing a parentheses. Okay, so now it should, when we click get all Hogwarts spells, it will still append a new row of this ID name description, so I'll delete that, and it will print another one, and every single spell is now coming into our sheet. That's pretty cool. Man, there'll be 77 of them, or 78 rows with the header, right? There we go. Got all of them. Awesome. So we were able to grab all the spells. We can probably get all the characters. Let's get all the characters as well. So we're just going to copy get all spells, paste it down here, and let's get all characters. Instead of spells at the end, we're going to do characters is probably it. We can just copy. Yeah. And let's look at it in our URL. Pretty print. We have name and let's just get the name and alternate name. Maybe name and is there house? House. Yeah. So let's get everybody's name and everybody's house. So instead of ID, we don't want that, name and house. We can rename this spells to characters. We don't need description. And we don't need ID. For this case, we don't need ID. But we will copy this again and get house. Okay, so we're just doing .house here. We're iterating through these. And we want to make sure we're on a new tab. We're going to create a new tab. Call it houses. We can run this, get all characters from the app script. We don't even have to put it into our on-open menu, but I just thought that on-open menu is really fun to make a custom menu here. So let's actually run it from here, get all characters. We maybe have a problem with active sheet. Let's see what happens if it just automatically goes to the active sheet that we're on over here. There it is, and there's all the names and houses. Nice. Some people don't have a house, I think, because they're not students. Oh, there's a lot of... There we go. That's pretty cool. And we can do this with all kinds of other things, right? All the Ravenclaws, different people. Cool. Let's go back and look for more APIs. So this public holiday API. So an API for public holiday supports over 100 countries. Documentation is here. Let's read it. API provides a simple way to query the holidays of over 100 countries. Also, it is possible to query long weekends. There's an endpoint to check if today is a holiday. Interesting. Example. Get the public holidays from the given year and country. So country code is a 2-letter code, looks like. And the year is here. So does that bring us anything? Yeah, it does. Cool. So we have here public holidays, types, local name. If we type in US, these are just Columbus Day, local name. So let's just get the name of all the holidays and the date and name. So we just need to call this API. So we can do something similar. We'll start it from scratch. Function get all holidays variable URL equals here. Response equals URL fetch app dot fetch URL. We want variable text equals response dot get content text. We want holidays equals JSON dot parse text. We can do a spreadsheet get active sheet append row. We want to append it with, what was that again? Date, comma, holiday. So this is the name of it. For I equals 0, we'll start at 0. We will go until we have holidays dot length, semicolon I plus plus, iterate through, and we will do spreadsheet app dot get active sheet dot append row, and all we need here is holidays I, and then a dot name, or no, dot, which one is first? Date. Dot date, comma, holidays. I'm getting my head is in the way. Holidays, I is in brackets, dot name. Okay, let's see if this works. Get all holidays. We want to create a new tab. We want to make sure it's saved completely. And run get holidays. See if we get any errors. Doesn't look like we're getting any errors. But this is only going to be for the US. So how do we parse this into a nice way? Maybe instead of appending the row, what we could do is put it into an array. So variable holiday array equals, we're just going to create, the first one is going to be date and holiday. And then here, instead of this, it's going to be holiday array dot push. We're going to push this into it, each one. And then we're going to return holiday array. Let's see if this works. So again, we can grab all of these, but we're going to do equals, again, our most fun thing, add a comment at custom function. I'm going to call this holidays. We're going to add another little thing to it as if this works. I think we're going to have some interesting fun with it. Holidays. Amazing, but we do need to fix, I think we need to add this as an array around that. Let's see if that fixes. Yep, okay, perfect. So we have the date and the holiday. But the interesting thing here is we are getting we have a URL here where we have a year and a country code. We can actually put that in as variables inside of our function. So we can say country and year, and let's create a new URL based on that. So we're going to use plus year plus, got to put in quotes another slash, then plus country. So now this one won't work because we have no variables. We'll get an error, but we'll add the variables. We'll say US 2024. Actually 2023, I think we can use. Let's see. Perfect. And now we can maybe change it to 2022. Now we have this really cool function. It's going to update all the time, in real time. We can change the year if we want to get different years. We can change the country. If we want, maybe we change the, not change it, but add local name. If we change the country, it's going to have a different local name. We go holidays, and then I want to double check its local name with a capital N here. There we go. And in the case of line 54, what is not defined? Holidays. I just spelled holidays wrong. See, that error just told us which line it's on. All right, perfect. This is great for the US. But let's see what's Indonesia 2-letter country code. It's just ID. Let's see what it is. Indonesia. Perfect. So we now have local names of all of these public holidays. We can also probably do MY, I think might be Malaysia. Nope. What is MA? Yeah, how do we know which country is which? So we have parameters, 2-letter country codes. Country code is ISO 3161 alpha 2. 2-letter country codes. Let's see if we can get a list of those. Oh my God, there's so many. Here we go. Let's grab this. Oh, we have them all. Awesome. Wait, I want all of this table. See if I can copy it all. This is going to be really fun to play with this data, right? Okay, let's call this codes. Paste it. So we have a country code here. We have a country name here. And for our holidays, we need the 2-letter country code. But we don't know the 2-letter country code. We only know the name. So let's create a drop-down menu here. This is going to be fun. With range from the country name. Codes B2B. Okay, we've created a drop-down menu here. This is the country. And then for our code, we are going to do, we can't do VLOOKUP actually. We have to do index. Our reference, so we'll do match first. Match. Search key will be this. Our range will be the B column. We will search by 0. We're going to get an answer, which we will use as an index for A to A. And we will now have, based on this dropdown, and let's try something we know. US, United States of America. Let's see if that works. Perfect. So the United States works, but something like Bermuda maybe not work? Argentina? Works. Fantastic. That's pretty fun that we are able to now use that information we got from here to know the ISO 3161 alpha 2 country code, and now we're able to grab all the holidays in that country. Oh, there's the launch year of the public holiday. Interesting. So we could also call this first year and add, let's see if, oops. I think that's what it was. Launch year. Oh, there's a lot of nulls here. So we're just going to get nothing, but we can call it launch year then. I don't think it's first year. I think it's Oops. Something went wrong. I've been doing too much. Let's see. Do we have the first year of any of them? No, I think it's going to be all first year. Let's call it launch. Launch year. Coming back with basically nothing because I don't think any of them have it. Oh, we're running the wrong one. Yeah, they're all null. Null just means nothing. Just has no information. So that probably wasn't very interesting, but it's good that we are able to parse it as we wish and see that we get nothing back. Cool. Let's go look at more. So we're having pretty much fun with these APIs now. We're able to add a little bit more and more each time. We got the codes. We have this drop-down menu that now we can see. Let's see Ghana. See holiday. Oh, there's no. This syntax error. Unexpected end of JSON input. Oh, I keep having 2023 here. So we can also add a year, 2024. And instead of referencing it here, we can say B1. Let's see if Tanzania has something. Nope. Austria. That's cool. So now we can change the year, 2000. Great. Wow. Did anything change? Do we have like a different number of holidays? Did any holiday get created in the last few years? No. It's all the same stuff. Cool. So now we have this cool little dashboard we created, like a web app here, right? To pick a country, pick a year, and see all the holidays and their dates and the local name. Cool. Let's look at some more public APIs. Got Rick and Morty, Pokemon, useless facts. Let's see what the newest ones are. Public holidays in China. Guild Wars. Throwaway email API allows users to check if an email address is from a disposable domain. That's interesting. Screenshot of a homepage? Oh, it's free? I don't know if we can do that in Google Sheets. Should we try? What is the thing that we get back? Screenshot of? Get historical screenshots, markdown, and metadata. All the way back to January 2024. I don't know if this is going to last very long. Let's see what happens. Try making requests. Get PNGs. It says expect the API to change. So even if we get it, it's just not going to work very well. But let's see. Get JSON. Let's see what happens. Here's an image. Does this image work? That's just great. Oh, this doesn't give... Oh, here it is. OG image. Get historical screenshots. That's just metadata. Here we go. That is literally the image. Screenshot of, let's say, What happens? I don't know what's going to happen. Function get screenshot. I think what we need to do here, I don't think it's going to work because we need the URL. Basically, we're just going to be able to get text back. But if we got a URL of an image, then we could put that in an image formula. So we'll return. So let's do return URL. Variable URL equals, I'm going to just do google.com for now. We will maybe do the similar thing as we did above later. URL fetch app dot fetch URL. Just want to see what does it bring back. We get text. What if it's just content equals response dot get content? Let's see. Get screenshot. Let's create a new page. Get a reference error. Not on inserts. Oh my god, it's so many things. Get content text. What happens if we change that to content text? Do we get something? Value. Text result, it's something longer. Let's inspect this and see what it is. It's probably just trying to give us back everything. But is there a URL we can get? So we just get in Markdown. That's pretty nice. We can get a web page in Markdown. Get a web page. This is just, we can save that image, but it is just an image. It's not a URL it's coming back. Copy image address. That is the address. I'm wondering, do we even need a API equals image? Put this in the URL. Allow access. And there we go. So we don't even need to use URL fetch app for this. We can literally just use this here and go google.com. Let's actually, instead of just the URL. There you go. So we can just get a screenshot here. We just need to put in the URL. We can add ampersand B1. I'm going to wrap this with if is blank B1. Let's capitalize this image so that if it's blank, it doesn't show anything. And then we'll type in google.com and it will load an image of it. Great. Can we do what happens if we do drive.google.com? Current screenshot not available. I mean, wikipedia.com? Probably well-known sites only. There you go. So we got a screenshot of it. That's cool. That's a very fun API. But that trick is we just have to wrap it with the image formula, and that's about it. Nice. Internet DB, what is this one? Internet DB open ports. I don't know about that. Most popular? What are people using? Kimi quotes. Finnish F1 driver. Hacker News API, Data USA, automated reports, public holiday, we did that. Pokemon, similar to the other ones. Get random activities based on type, participants, price, and accessibility range. This has a low score, so let's see what happens. It has a 100% error rate, so we're not even going to try it. That's cool that this site has those error rates, and I'm like, don't care. Free JSON Sports API, information on teams. That's pretty cool if you're doing like fantasy football. List of all countries. List all teams in a league. Search for event. List all leagues. Oh, there's a free tier and this is a free sports API. You cannot make over 100 requests per minute. Okay. API key 3 during development. If you want a free version. Search for a team by name. Is it any team? I wonder, like, what happens there? Okay, we search by team. We get back teams. Interesting. Let's see what happens. Function get teams. We are going to variable URL equals, let's put that in there. Response equals URL fetch app dot fetch URL. We'll do text equals response dot get content text. We'll return text. And I want to test this out. I'm wondering if it's looked like a search gators or muskrats or something. Again, let's add a little custom function here. At custom function. So we'll use get teams. Let's save it. Make sure it's saved. Let's create a new page. Equals get teams. See what happens. Teams null. Let's do Arsenal. Arsenal. Because we did have a response from it. There we go. We got a lot of stuff here. So maybe we need to parse this like variable JSON equals JSON parse. Well, we can. Here's another trick I know of. This isn't very good, but we can do JSON beautifier or formatter that you can Google them. They'll all be the same. Paste it in here. Format beautify. There is an error. Expecting string. It's not very good JSON, or there's something wrong with it, but it'll work. Teams. ID team. We have a bracket here. Arsenal. Football club. Is it all just football clubs? Let's try. Teams. Return teams. Teams? No. Results. Let's see if that changes anything. Nope, we get an error. Oh, because it didn't save, actually. We got nothing. So 0. Let's add 0 to see get the first result. Make sure it saves. I don't know, it takes some time to save. It's so weird. It's got to go call it again and come back with something. Will it come back with anything? To parse this. Let's see again. There's an example. Search by name. But getting nothing's better than getting an error. Let's see, look at this again. It's not pretty printing. Is there more than one here? Just ID. Let's ask ChatGPT how to parse this. How to parse this JSON. Might as well. It's printing the string. It's going to print the whole thing. Oh my God. Data. Aha. That's one weird thing we have to do, right? So it's results, bracket, teams, 0. See if that comes up. Then we need to access. What else? Should we add that? There we go. We got the team name. We don't want the team name. We want something else. We want something interesting, right? Maybe league or alternate. We're searching for the team name. Let's see. What are the alternate names? There's some alternate names. Cool. So this one was weird because of that extra little teams at the beginning, right? We had to put that in brackets, then 0, the first item, and then in bracket again, whatever we're looking for. That's pretty hard to deal with. We have a lot of options here. Ooh, we have, is there a formed team here? So we can type in a team name and get the first result, whatever their team name was whenever they were formed. But we can also add here team name and put it here and create a nice little search and do equals get team. Well, actually, we'll rename this get team form date. Formed. So now, let's make sure it saves. Well, equal, get team formed. Does it tell us what, it says Arsenal, but what, list all sports. Teams in a league. Interesting. What teams can I look for? Like Bills? Let's see. Would it find the Buffalo Bills? No. What teams? All teams. List of all teams in a league. All teams. What teams can I search for? All right, this is really weird. But I can't figure this out. But we can find, let's say, what's another one word team name like Arsenal. I don't know. Aliens, Astros, right? Like Aston Villa. Let's see. Don't know if this is going to work. Oh, it worked. Aston Villa. Probably was from 1874. It's a very old, would Wrexham be in here? 1864. I don't know if that's actually when they were, but there we go. So it's going to search for some team names. We can make a little web app there. I think it's been pretty cool. A little frustrating, right, with some of these APIs to know what's in it and what's not, right? Are we getting an error because of our doing, or the API just doesn't know what we're asking it to do? Who knows? If you're an Avatar fan, let's see what we have here. With the characters, episodes, another little database, cool. Let's see what else, if we can get some random stuff. More random useless facts. Provides random useless facts. Let's get a useless fact for our last one, right? Can append language. So we want English. Cool. So we just need that URL. Awesome. Let's go and create a function. Useless fact. I hope by this time you are comfortable with variable URL equals. You know what I'm going to say. Let's actually go and copy it. Here. And then variable response equals, we're just going to call this URL fetchapp.fetch URL. Variable text equals response.get content text. Make sure we have the parentheses. Variable, nope, we're just going to return text, right? We probably should look at this. We have to do a little bit of JSON. We want just the text, right? We don't want the ID. We don't want the source URL. We just want text. So variable fact equals text. Nope. JSON.parse text. Dot text. I think that's what we have to do. Let's find out by adding a custom function. Making sure it's saved. This orange button goes away. And we'll call this facts. I don't like the team formed. Equal useless fact. Let's hope it works. The first time the fingerprints of koala bears are virtually indistinguishable from those humans, so much so they can be easily confused at a crime. Oh my God, those koalas and their crimes. Great. So again, we can use this kind of random function as like a little Easter egg in our sheets if we use the if is blank. If you have like a checklist here, insert checkbox, and you're like, one of them is get useless fact. And when we check that off, we want it to show up. So if this, and if it's true, we will write get useless fact. And if it's false, we won't show anything. So as we check off our list of laundry and pick up kids and go to pool and make dinner, as we pick them up, oh, this is boring, right? Oh, we pick up kids. Now we get a useless fact. There we go. The longest one syllable word is screeched. Go to pool, make dinner, right? So this is fun to add little Easter eggs to your sheets, or just have fun with APIs. Hopefully you enjoyed this full hour-long ride into APIs. I'm excited to see what you do with it. If you find any other interesting stuff at freepublicapis.com, let me know. If you have any difficulty doing something you want to do and build it in Google Sheets, let me know. I'm happy to help with issues. Bye.